Gia, Gia. It's episode 135. The Astros took advantage of getting to play the ultimate slump buster, Seattle Mariners. He is Sensual Gary. I'm Doper Winfrey. How are you doing?
Your MC, you started the show as MC8. Gia. It's one of those West Coast rap movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Menace to Society soundtrack.
Yes, absolutely. That's a good soundtrack.
Anybody who rapped in California during that time frame.
How you been?
Yeah, good, fine. I guess I don't know. I'm here.
Yeah.
I don't have a good answer. I'm never doing good, but I also don't want to be like negative as well. So I'm just like, I'm here.
I think it's all right to be negative.
No, because my thing is saving that for real negativity. No, nothing. No wasted negative feelings. Too much bullshit. Like you getting off Twitter. Like none of that. I got no time for any of that. Nothing. It's not actual real stress. I'm not letting it affect me.
So I've significantly cut down on my Twitter usage in the last 10 days or so, and it's been freaking great.
Makes a big difference. I was watching. What was I watching? I was watching an old interview with Dave Chappelle and John Mayer, and they were interviewing on something, and they asked about Twitter. And John said he described it so perfectly, where he said that that Twitter it just keeps showing that he of course articulated it so well, but he just talked about how you get hit with the same problem over and over again, and you can't it's a group of people that you can't resolve it, and you can't control that. I don't know. I'm not doing a good job. He perfectly described it, but it was just talked about how it's just the same shit over and over again, and you can't control it, and you absorb all the energies of all these people, and if something bad's going on, you read the same news over and over again, and it just pounds this stuff to where you almost get over the emotion of something even quicker because you've seen 10 tweets, and it may have been a bomb might have just exploded, and you're like, man, I'm over this explosion. And it's not a healthy way to deal with stuff. And the worst people on earth are on it and talking on it. So shout out to Astros Twitter out there, just getting tattoos and fucking doing God knows what else.
I missed all that. Give me the basics.
That's literally all I know. So okay. I'm sure somebody can fill you. I don't know anything other than people said they were going to get a tattoo and they did. That's what I need to know. I don't.
We're busting on people for holding up, for doing what they said they would do. That seems real cool, I guess.
Never done anything rational, normal, or they don't know what an appropriate response is. So I can't. They got mad at me for tricking them about an Altuve deal. Legitimate friends of mine, legitimately just furious that Altuve joined the 27 cult that the Yankees started, and Mike Trout and a bunch of other players were in it. Very big clandestine situation, and they were furious. But that's the other people we're dealing with. They're suckers. Number one, they can be tricked very easily. They can be, but then they're also volatile. So they're easy to trick and extra volatile. Perfect for Twitter. Built in a lab for Twitter. So shout out to Astros Twitter. We love you. Keep listening. Download. Click, like, and subscribe or something.
Turn on the notifications.
So that's going on. The Astros they're there. What are they? 11-10 now.
11-10.
That's all you can ask for.
They've lost to they're 11-5 against teams not the Dodgers and the A's.
The A's are fucking 15-6. I don't know if they won today. They were tied 1-1. But the A's are. The A's might. I still somehow don't respect them, and this is personal. This is just Oakland bias, I think, because they seem they're the real deal, but they're no different than they're no different than they were the last few years. They're sans Blake Trinan, they've got a good lineup. They can hit. Their pitching's okay. I think I still think in a postseason series they get got. They're not good. They're not strong enough.
I've been thinking. I was thinking a lot about the A's, and I'm still I'm ingesting baseball like one box score at a time. Like I'm not spending time watching baseball just because of other stuff that's going on. But it feels to me, and I did pay attention to the A's series because that seemed like, well, that's one that I need.
I did too. Fucked us up.
To pay attention to that. And they came out swinging. I also feel like this is as good. I mean, they've won two before. I mean, Friday night and Saturday night, they won 2 games that they were trailing by multiple runs and they won. I feel like this is as good as it gets for the A's, and the Astros are still hanging with them, and things are nowhere near good for the Astros.
Yeah, so, I don't know. We don't know who the A's have played too. So I mean, chances are they've played some garbage teams. Because it's mostly garbage teams and a few elite teams, and that's about it. We're about to see one of the good teams, one of the surprises, and it's about it.
I just feel like everything has gone right for Oakland so far, and it's still like they're I mean they have a 4-game lead, but their run differential. I mean it's with a 3-game series that they swept against Houston. That's a 1-game. That's a 1-game lead. If that, and I know you can't be like, well, if that didn't happen, well, it did, so you can't. You can't do that.
I mean, yeah. And
it just seems like this is as like they're playing as well as they possibly can. They've had multiple things go right for them. Maybe they've had some things go wrong. I don't know. I'm not paying that close attention to
them. Two games in our series that broke their way. So I don't know if they're a team of destiny, and they seem to always be that team. They're just eking out wins. Yeah, and they really have to crawl to their 88 wins or 90 wins that they can get. But I don't know. I mean, I guess they could be improving. You got Chapman getting better. You got guys, that they're a cohesive unit that are growing together. They've got some young talent. I don't know. They'll be in the playoffs, whether they win the division or not. That remains to be seen. But they're one of the best teams in the American League.
So the A's they won 3 out of 4 against the Angels to open the season. They dropped 2 against Colorado. They won 3 of 4 against the Mariners. They swept the Rangers. They swept the Astros. They lost 2 of 3 to the Angels again. And they took 2 of 3 from the Giants, with the 3rd game being played right now.
Teams and the Angels are mediocre. That's one thing that the Astros only see the Rangers in September, so that's going to be a chance to really lay it on them, and then also add the record. So that's good. Yeah, I mean, that's about right. The Angels they'll play good for one series against you, and then they'll be terrible another. They're 500. Yeah, Giants are bad. Rockies are good. We're good, but they beat us. And the Rangers are bad. Yeah, I mean, Mariners are terrible. So, I mean, they haven't played the yet. They haven't played the Pods yet. Pods are out to a good start. That shows you that this means nothing. This is not a sample size. The season just started. It's only relevant because of this season.
Yep.
We wouldn't even be we would barely be reacting to it. It wouldn't be it's a nice talking point now, but it's not. I don't even with this short series, it's just not that crucial. You need you could play good 700 ball for 3 weeks and fucking be bad the entire rest of the time, and you could coast on into a spot with the situation. Maybe win a division. You need to be 5 games over 500 is all you really have to be. Everybody's going to be right around there. There'll be a couple of really bad teams, but everybody's going to be right around there. It'll get dicey even if it's not that dicey. So I don't know. Maybe that's fun. I don't really think it is.
I'm not having really any fun watching.
But figure out how what they couldn't do to start the season was figure out how to win a game. They figured that out. Bullpen is starting to come through. You're getting it's seeming like all of the struggling to start and the young arms, the injuries, and all this stuff. We've said it before. I think it's going to pay dividends, and you're going to come out with a deep bullpen with multiple guys you can rely on in different situations, or you're going to find out, that somebody is not somebody that's going to contribute. So this could be ideal, except for you lose your closer who will never pitch again. He now lives in Kingston, Jamaica, and sells his new brand of rum that he just started. Rest in peace, Osuna.
Wears eyeliner.
Yeah, he really might not ever pitch again. So it's not that funny, but.
Well, I think he'll pitch again. Well, I don't know. I mean, if he,
it's not off the table that he would never play again.
No, you're right, because I mean, if he does need Tommy John surgery, then that rules him out until he's a free agent. And then you look at the blowback that the Astros got from signing him, and what team wants that? There
is at least one soulless team out there that he's just too good. He's just too good. You can use that, and the Astros did maybe sign him for less money. I don't know, man. If you got a reputation, and even though he's been nothing but a perfect citizen since all this stuff happened. I'm not saying that doesn't excuse anything that may or may not have happened, but no peep from him. Just comes in and does his work when he's pitched. So he's proven that he's not a problem.
No, that's true. He, from all accounts, he's been like a really good teammate. It's how the team handled it.
What's for him? I think that that stuff is not great, and there'll always be people saying it in comment sections. And but I think that that, if he is able to pitch again, I think that he's answered that. Look, I'm not a problem. I'm not a problem. And
he doesn't have a punching bag installed in his locker just so he can get some licks in, just to keep his game up.
Been good. He's actually getting his licks in.
We're not laughing at that. There's nothing about that that's funny. Just the idea that
what happened. That's all allegedly.
The idea that someone credibly accused of domestic violence would have a punching bag in their locker.
Hey man, there's the people do that. People do that. You have to have some sort of outlet, and preferably it's not your spouse.
It's you're accused. The Astros signed a guy that's been credibly accused of being an axe murderer, and he puts one of those axe throwing lanes in the locker room.
Gregory, this doesn't look good. Now, I get it. Throwing those axes. That is fun, and we'll have some contests in here. But just saying that it does not look great. With the axes, and now you have this thing in your locker. It just doesn't.
Oh, all right. We need to move on from this.
Doug Brocail is a racist, and he's got a Nazi flag in his locker. But we can. Doug Brocail, I don't think so. Sorry for saying that.
I don't think he is. Yeah.
He looks like.
So the last time we did this show, it was with Ashley McHugh, and that's what kind of drove me off of Twitter. Was the people why didn't you ask her about Colin McHugh? And I'm well, we weren't talking to Colin McHugh. That's why we didn't ask about Colin McHugh, because
I do want to see if Colin will come on though, and then talk some baseball.
That'd be cool, but that's not what the point was. So I don't know. It just, but listening back to it, and that's the first episode that I've actually listened back to.
Great episode.
It was a really good episode. Okay, just a second. Any thoughts kind of as we I'd like to have her back on because she's got a lot of stuff to say, and she's cool and smart and intelligent and broad. It never felt natural to ask her about what's Colin up to. So what's your takeaway?
I think she's probably feel as weird speaking on it. It's already a weird situation to where you're she's on the podcast on her own accord, but she's still on the podcast because of her husband that plays baseball. That is what we talk about. So it's this meta type thing. But well, first of all, the baseball that we did talk about, she had some really just great insight and some stuff that just talking about stuff. I thought there was decent baseball on the back end.
Yeah, no, there was.
And like, yeah, I mean, I don't like what we're gonna ask. You asked a pretty tough question, honestly, dealing with all the negative. Well, I was reading into the negative feelings of not staying here in town and having the free agents process, which she said was not not a lot of teams, and like dealing with an injury and how the Astros misused them. Just like that's a stressful, pivotal time in a person's career, like Colin was in that situation. Like that's just not great.
Yeah.
But that was a tough question. What else? What was it like playing for the Mets? Like, I don't.
Yeah. Just seemed like, if for me, it like asking about like her husband's, injured shoulder or whatever, it kind of, or when they won the World Series, or when Colin McHugh won 19 games, it felt more like a Chris Farley like interviewing Paul McCartney, like, remember when he won 19 games? That was awesome. Like asking something like that just felt dumb.
Talking about the Beatles.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was one of my. I mean, we've had some really good shows, and we've had some shows that started off like real spotty, and then some magic happened, and it's come around to where it's been a really good show. But you think about as far as like guests go, and having guests on, it's got to be like her and Lance, and that's sort of the high watermark of having guests on the show.
Seth Payne was incredible.
Oh yeah, Seth was great.
It was great, and yeah, it's probably a lot on us too, since we're not the guest dynamic is just something new. It was really easy with her, so it was a good show. It just felt good. We
good
let
show.
it. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. It was a good time.
No, that
I also like she did casually mention how she had no idea about the cheating, and like out of the bullpen, like that was just to, I tend to believe her. She didn't seem like somebody who's telling lies for no reason. So that's interesting, and that makes sense.
Yeah, she's no longer affiliated with the organization, so why lie about that? I don't know.
And I'm gonna get off this real quick, but like I do wonder, like for bullpen guys, and just not like how vocal is the team? I mean, are they wearing "we're cheating" shirts? Are they yelling about it? If they're just stealing signs, and that's day-to-day game stuff. Looking at video, I mean, I wonder how known was it? You know what I mean? Like for a guy that's not really paying attention to that, a guy that doesn't have to hit, is in the bullpen for most of the time, maybe comes in for an inning. Unless they're yelling about it in the clubhouse, talking about how they're stealing signs and cheating, like you wouldn't really know. I don't know. I just wonder how open, like, if in meetings, if they talk about what they're doing, I don't know. I just would love to know that dynamic of that stuff.
Everyone I've talked to, or books that I've read, have said that baseball teams are a very tribalistic, grouping of people. You get, the hitters tend to, not that they don't hang out with the pitchers, but
Sure.
Bullpen relievers are like a different breed than even like your starters. So everyone kind of sticks to themselves. And look, I read like the Dominican guys like stick with each other, and there's it feels like the Astros might be a little bit different in that regard, but maybe not. I don't know. But there's no real reason for Josh Reddick to walk over to some random reliever and be like, man, trash can was loud tonight. Like, even though that's something it sounds like he would do. But I don't know.
He probably would do that. He's always yelling about
it. In his Speedo for no reason.
It's a Confederate flags Speedo.
So anyway, all right. What else? What else we got?
That show you probably have, if you're listening to this, you've probably checked it out. If you're craving content, anything thrown your way, you're going to listen to. And I get it. I'm there too. So, but if you haven't, check it out. It's a great episode. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. It was way more. If we asked only baseball questions, it wouldn't have been as interesting of an episode. It would have still been good, but it wouldn't have been the same. So guess what? It's our show. We control it. And we made a choice, and it was the right one.
Yep.
So we're right. Y'all are wrong.
As usual.
Oh, I just liked more baseball. What kind of fucking dork are you? I tried listening. Couldn't take talking about life, and couldn't take it. Want to know about Colin's arm and transitioning going to Boston. I want to know about the contract. It's like, what? Fucking idiots.
That's what got me. The I have to hear about the pandemic every day. I didn't want to hear about it here. Like, I'm sorry, it's affecting literally everybody. And I'm sorry that we asked for someone who has a very different perspective than we do. Sorry to ask them what they thought about what is happening to everybody in the world. I'm very sorry we didn't ask about Colin's pitch sequencing and the structure of his shoulder. Ask her to bring MRIs.
Yeah, they're basically they're shut up and podcasting us.
Yes.
Hey, shut up and do your podcast. We don't want to hear about the pandemic. Talk your baseball. Talk Astros baseball. We don't want to hear about anything else.
Oh man, that sent me. That's what I was like. Man, screw this place. Like I'm. And I used to be the guy that was like Facebook is for people who used to be friends who are now strangers, and Twitter is for complete strangers who are now friends. And I don't know what's changed. I know what's changed in the last couple of years, but I'm so over that. Now there are people from Twitter that I would take a bullet for. That list is dwindling by the day, but it's just not. I'm not going to use Twitter in a way that I have in the last however long I've been on Twitter. Like, it's just that, like, I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, and you can definitely make that adjustment, because I know I'll still write stupid jokes and stuff, but I rarely read. I don't really read tweets at all. I don't go through the feed. I don't. So I'm not taking any of that information in. So yeah, somebody responds, I'll go back and forth and stuff, and I'll tweet stuff. So like, I still can use it, but yeah, I'm not just gonna go read it and fucking. It's just nothing good can come of it. Nothing good can come of it.
I have a bunch of lists that I made
That's
private.
Good thing. Great.
So
right.
It's like, I want to see, and I have like a Leeds United list. Like, I want to see what are the people that I trust to give me information about this topic. I only want to hear from them, and that I'm going to use that list to kind of catch up on what's going on. And I've sort of been using that exclusively over the last week to 10 days, and I'm going to keep that up for the foreseeable future.
It's funny that's such a great tool. That and muting words right now. And I've never used a list. I guess I probably wouldn't anyway. I'm too lazy. But yeah, that makes perfect sense to be able to cut through that, because there's so much good information and good things that the core of Twitter, what it was created for, like, there's so many good things, but just right now you can't. It can't get past all the negative, and you throw the election in it and a pandemic. And anyway, all right, so let's transition to a very cheerful topic. Fucking Joe Kelly.
I saw that he was on a podcast. I did not spend a second listening to what Joe Kelly had to say, so fill me in.
Oh man, I don't even know where to start. Like, and I can't tell you how, like, I am not like one of these people that want to beef with him. If he disappeared, drove off a cliff, really drove off a cliff, I mean, I wouldn't think of him again. So I mean, there's people on Twitter, they can't wait to bring up Joe Kelly and who we're beefing with and who the enemy is. But this fucking guy goes on. I think it was Ross Stripling's podcast, I think.
He's a Dodgers pitcher, yes, from Houston, if I recall.
Yeah, and he didn't we light Stripling up in the
I feel like we did.
I think we did too.
I'm looking up to see where he's from. No, he's not. He's from he went to A&M. That's what he did.
I think we touched him up, or somebody hit a home run off him or something. Doesn't matter. So yeah, so he gets on and he's talking about how the Astros he hates the Astros because they're rats. Because they admitted to what they admitted to the thing. This is what he's mad about. That the Astros are the rats. So basically, what Mike Fiers did, that's what he's blaming the Astros for. He says he'll never forgive them, and that basically proud that the Red Sox cheated and did not admit to what they did, which was a fucking stipulation of the fucking goddamn deal. It's the whole thing. Without that, we wouldn't even have it. There'd be no cheating. Nothing would have happened. So the Astros didn't have a choice in that matter. So sorry, Bucko. It's Mike Fiers is the person you need to be talking to that ratted out the whole fucking thing. Otherwise, we'd still be cheating. We'd still be winning World Series. They'd still be winning World Series. We'd all be fucking happy. Joe Kelly, 2 first name having bitch ass piece of shit.
So that's so weird. That's a
In fact, I forgot that I have my computer here. I can look up. Yeah, I want to get some direct quotes. But yeah, so like the thing that we specifically targeted Mike Fiers on was like breaking the clubhouse code, the player code that you just don't, and nobody else had talked about it. And that's how it's supposed to be. But he's not. He must not be very bright to understand nuance, number one, but also understand just how this whole thing works. I think he must be on par with everybody else that doesn't understand that was the deal. Players didn't get punished because that was the whole thing.
They told the truth because
you don't get the info, you don't get the story, you don't get the resolve, you don't get your fall guy if the Astros don't cooperate. And that would have been an interesting alternate path to what do they do if they're just like, no, I know nothing about nothing, and just did anything. Got Mike Fiers saying something, saying, we didn't. What do you mean? And what if they just didn't say anything? They could punish the Astros and say, we think you did, but it really they had to.
The alternate path is what happened to the Red Sox, which Joe Kelly was a member of the 2018 version of.
Go about your business. Fucking
So no one talks about the Astros. Not the Astros. Everyone talks about the Astros. No one talks about the Red Sox because the Red Sox, like as a group, are like, we saw what happened to those guys. We're not going to say a freaking word. So
they weren't anyway. But it's just it's unbelievable how just the same things happening in all these different cities. And shout out. You know what? Shout out to Manfred and the front office for the perfect fucking plan. They really nailed it with the PR. They really nailed it. Unfortunately, the team that we root for has to take the fall. But God, what a good plan, because it's working.
It's totally working.
Nobody, no matter what happens, no matter what facts come out, it doesn't matter. It's just like the narrative is set in stone, and it's almost impressive if it didn't just piss me off because I'm tired of don't understand the game of baseball or somehow vocal about it, going on just talking trash on the internet, and you don't even know like what's going. I don't understand. I just don't understand that. So that's what annoys me. It's like all the dumbest people, media included, talking about it, and it's just like, do y'all not know how this works? Like, I put minimum effort into following baseball, doing this podcast, and it's just like I don't understand how these people get paid to do work inside of baseball, just don't know how it works.
Well, I think at this point, for Joe Kelly, Ross Stripling's been with the Dodgers his entire career. So that he has a podcast, that's cool. I guess if that's something you want to listen to and you want to get a pitcher's perspective, do you. I'm not going to bust on anyone who has a podcast because obviously –
not. That's cool. And to have players talking, I think that's great. It's a great thing. But
every time to have Joe Kelly on, like Joe Kelly's chasing clout, and it's just ringing up retweets and likes every time you say something that denigrates. Even if you, Buster only knows what's going on. Like everyone knew what was happening. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been at the beginning of the 2018. Maybe 2019 postseason, I can't remember. Scott Miller, wrote an article about how technology was the biggest threat to the game. to the game's integrity. And you don't write that article without knowing exactly what's going on. And it's not just one team that's doing it. And again, if ad nauseum, it doesn't excuse the Astros from what they absolutely did do. But at this point, you just know that you're going to get a whole cheering section from Los Angeles and from New York and from wherever else every time you make some backhanded, snide comment about trash cans and cheating and whatnot. So, I mean, it's the dopamine rush. I don't even know if that's the right word, but it's the rush of seeing a tweet do numbers when you fire off some witty little comment that you know in your heart is half true at best.
Easy pickings. And
yeah.
You see every media outlet, from sports related to just news outlets, if they can get the Astros in a headline, whether it's true or not, one guy, these stuff that are completely unrelated to the scandal, like the Oakland fight had literally nothing to do with anything, but was played up, but the headlines got all their clicks because there were beanballs and there was a brawl, but it was just talking about a guy's mother.
We are 6 months.
Absolutely. Did you think that was as stupid as it gets? Like how people were just so upset as, oh yeah, you can't be instigating. What do you mean? You say something, so like I still he should not be out there fucking doing that. He was absolutely wrong. But how are we taking the blame off the guy that just flipped his lid and just decided, yeah, I've got to go? Just because if somebody said something about your mother, I don't care culture. I don't care the culture or whatever. What?
Yeah.
Hey. Okay. Yeah.
There's nothing worse.
Space. Like, I mean, he had to say something else. He had to say something.
No, you're
Ed Kid or something. Like he had to say. Like if you said Punta Madre or whatever, like it's like okay. Oh. I love my mom and I am of Latin descent, but it's not gonna. I'm a professional. I'm gonna go ahead and walk through. Or they hated each other when he was with the team. Something else. I don't know. I just feel like that's not a good enough excuse to. That's not a go word. That's not a go word.
No.
And in that setting, it might be in a bar, or whatever. But he went from zero instantly, and if he just said "fuck your mother," like, hey, go fuck your mother,
There's nothing worse.
People are just like he's got to be banned for life. You can't be a coach saying things. Just like, okay. Anyways, Joe Kelly was mad that we added Cora. So they're saying that because we talked, we looped them into it and got Cora, and then so it got Cora fired. Basically blaming us for what Cora did to himself.
We tricked the Red Sox into cheating.
Fucking thing. He might have been the vice president to Beltran with the whole.
Yeah.
So like to make him not be culpable because the Astros talk like he. So yeah, he was like, oh no, it was a players thing. The coaches had nothing to do with it. He basically was just speaking on not knowing. He clearly didn't know the story, and didn't read any of the report because he talked about how it was a players only thing and the coaches had nothing to do with it and they were shouldn't be respected for doing that to him, throwing him under the bus and just like he was the one that perfected the system. Beltran brought it over and Cora fucking tinkered with it. He was anyway. So yeah, so that was pretty much the gist of it. Just a weird fucking take. Just a weird take.
And to sort of loop back to something we talked about earlier, Joe Kelly's a reliever. Like, how would he know what was actually going on? We just spent a few minutes talking about how Colin McHugh didn't know anything about it. Well, he was a reliever too. So why would we expect Joe Kelly to know absolutely anything? And Kelly
did it. He was using the same system. He won a World Series using the system. So the fact that he's speaking on it is the one thing. But yeah, one of the cheating that he's mad about, it's that them talking about it. So
that's weird.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I don't know if he was trying to like play into Stripling losing to the Astros in the World Series. Like if it was kind of like a thing, like kind of fuel some conversation. And I don't know, man. That's just.
I looked, and Stripling actually had a pretty good World Series
Yeah.
Against the Astros. Well, he faced one batter in Game 2 in the 7th and walked him and got pulled. Game 3, he threw an inning and a third, gave up a hit, no runs. Game 5, I got 2 outs in the 8th inning, gave up a hit, but no damage really done. It's just weird. It just feels like everyone's like playing, and I get it. I mean, we play to the Astros fan base. You know, Stripling's going to play to the Dodgers fan base, and everybody else who hates the Astros. Like, it's just a cheap way to get retweeted and to get listens. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a beating a dead horse. Just like you're gonna say something, you don't really. It's like so many people, the vocal people, just don't have a grip of what's really going on or what really happened, or just kind of they're fake mad over headlines they think they understand, or just I don't know.
There's a Charles a Bukowski quote that's like the problem, and he said this. I mean, Bukowski's 120 years old, so I mean this was probably an older quote, but he's like
120.
The problem with the world is that the intelligent people are full of doubts and the dumb ones are full of confidence. Like that's oh, we back. All right.
Yeah, that sums it up.
So it's just, and not to say
pretty much everybody's retarded.
like everyone's dumb.
Sometimes it was even more worse of times.
And it used to be that you could rely on somebody maybe that you had maybe one lane. Like there's only 2 things that I feel comfortable like speaking on. I don't that I feel like I'm coming from a position where I've been doing this for a while. I feel comfortable saying like, hey, this is what's happening, and everything else like I'm gonna stay out of the way. But when you got like a dude from Barstool who's like, I've played enough Call of Duty to know that what happened in Beirut was nuclear. Like
they should. I feel like they have a responsibility. They should. They're idiots, and they're low. Definitely not journalists by any stretch. But like that's. If you're writing about the game, if you are a voice on the game, understand the game and what goes on around it. And if you don't understand it before you speak on it, go understand it. I don't get like I'm not argumentative, and I'm not looking for a fight like some people are, but I'm not gonna. If I'm arguing or debating something, I know I'm right for the most part. I don't go in unless I have my facts, and I'm not gonna look stupid. So if I'm going back and forth or I'm arguing with somebody, I'm probably right.
Yeah, no, that's that.
I go learn. And I want to be able to speak on it and understand the facts of the situation. I mean, I don't expect the average fan to go read the report and go through all the art just to figure it out, because it's impossible. And I mean, it wouldn't matter anyway. You could sit somebody down and read all that, and they would just be like, the Astros cheated. They knew every pitch that was coming. And yeah, just like just the stuff that people are saying that claim to be fans of the game. Like, do you hear yourself?
Yeah, they make it seem like it's Minority Report.
Every pitch was coming, and then you got Frankie, who is the fucking let's get this. What a move. What does he do? What is he doing?
So funny. I love Zach Greinke so much.
What a fucking because that is I'd be pretty pissed off. That's it's Greinke. I understand it, but like if I pop out, if I'm just after he says that, I'm fucking like you're showing me up.
I saw someone say,
give me the pitch, but like the fact that he's doing that, like that's ballsy to do it in a Major League Baseball game, just in general. But like, man, that's some martyr shit right there. And just for and it's probably just him. Just he's how he is. He's just it probably annoys him that people don't understand the deal is, and he's just like, well, this is what I can do to show that is not correct. It's like 1 + 2 = 3. Incredible.
Yeah, no.
It should be, honestly. I mean, that's people. Nobody does that. Nobody has ever done that.
I think a lot of fans want to think that the Astros created some like minority report where by banging on a trash can it meant that they knew not only what pitch was coming but where it was coming as well.
Yeah. If you throw the thing called logic into it, it breaks down instantly. But people, that's the headline. That's the talking line, and you say it and you move past it. The second you ponder it for 1 second, they knew every pitch was coming. I mean, give me a break.
It goes back to
they did. I would love to see what the end results were.
It goes back to that. I don't know if you remember the thing where I was like, do you think if you played Serena Williams, you could score a point? And it was like a poll. And like 70% of people, and it was all like middle-aged white dudes, I guarantee you.
No, not a chance.
Yeah, and they were like, yeah, I could get a point. And I'm like, you could, like Garrett Cole
could not return a serve. You would not return.
You wouldn't get your racket on it.
Volleys, you would have no chance. None. Zero.
Garrett Cole I could stand in the batter's box against Garrett Cole, and Garrett Cole could walk to the plate and say, put the barrel of the bat right, wait 1.4 seconds, start your swing, and put the barrel of the bat right here in the strike zone, and I would strike out on 2 pitches. Like and like there's just it's just insane. And I know that they're the best at what they do, but if you're the best at what you do, you fail 2/3 of the time. Like it's just not possible to. And should they have done it? Absolutely not. It has brought shame upon this franchise.
We've never said otherwise. It was wrong. Yeah. They were wrong for doing it. They were stupid for doing it, and they'd probably say the same thing. It was all for nothing. It did nothing. It didn't help us. We were already that good. It just sucks. But to say it helped, stupid, and to say that it was this egregious scandal is also stupid. So that's just I don't know. That's never going to end. So I guess I need to stop being annoyed at that. Yeah, but it just plays into everything. Just uneducated people speaking on stuff, and that applies with all sorts of different stuff. It's just, man.
Everything's been ruined. Everything's been ruined by white dudes with goatees whose profile pic is them in their truck. Like that they've ruined. That's the. And I know I'm a bearded middle-aged white guy. Like but that demographic has ruined absolutely everything.
You think that they can go? I could foul one off. Oh, you could foul one off of a fucking professional pitcher trying to strike you out. Yeah, I was on. I played varsity. I don't care if you fucking played college baseball. You're out of shape doing. I mean, you have the delusions of grandeur and the former athletes or what they. That's a very white guy thing to be like, yeah, man, I could. And they really. They probably the sad thing is they really do think that yeah, man, I can do that. Yeah. Not know how incredibly stupid they would. I would love to have a show where I got to prove that. Just be like, oh, okay, really? Well, yeah, let's go to the stadium right now. Justin Verlander's on the hill. Yeah, you're on national. We'll just see what happens.
What was that show? Was it Pros versus Joes?
Yeah, it was. That's pretty much. I don't remember the. That probably sounds like I don't know if I ever watched it.
I don't remember the construct, but now I want to go see if it's like streaming somewhere and just to watch these dudes who obviously still have like 4 years of college eligibility left, like stand in against somebody that is at the top of their game and just watch them get roped.
Yeah, I mean, I understand trying to relate and put yourself into it, especially if you played the sport at one time. I understand that you're like you fielded a ground ball before, you've hit, you've done this. I get it, but or any other sport, but the disparity between the professional athlete and even a very athletic, very skilled person that's not competitive, it's not even. They're not. You don't get lucky. You might catch one. It's just not. It's too great of a. It's just too great of a difference. You can't, especially baseball. You can't just go out, take some on deck cuts and get in there and fucking line one in the gap. I mean, off a professional pitcher, you couldn't do it off a fucking high school kid. You could not. Anybody that has any kind of skills trying to strike you out, no chance. No chance. No chance.
In my mid-20s, I played in like a wood bat league, and it was nobody who had ever played like college baseball. I mean, it was just a bunch of dudes, and I got jammed on accident. Like the guy wasn't even trying to like go inside, but I got jammed, and I couldn't hold a pen for a week.
Oh, that hurts so bad on a wood bat.
I looked as I trotted back to the dugout. I never struck out, but I grounded out weakly to the pitcher on a number of occasions. But like as I walked back to the dugout, from going halfway down to first base, like I looked at my arms and really expected to see like a cartoon, like my forearm had split down the middle, and I was looking at like the two bones in my arm, like making a V.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts so incredibly bad. Yeah, if you ever take an at bat during winter ball. Oh God. Yeah, cold night. You get jammed. I mean, it's enough to make you quit, like on the spot. Just I'm not doing it.
I was done.
Doing this. I can't feel my hands. I'm out of here. This is not going to be. I don't have a future in this. I'm out. Just walk out of the gate. Yeah, I'm not playing anymore. I'm done.
You're gonna hang your ceremonially hang your cleats on the side of the dugout.
I'm out of here, guys. I'll see you at school or whatever. Yeah, I'm just not gonna. I'm not doing this.
Yep.
I'm not gonna put myself through this. It's not worth it. I want to leave so I can tell people that I can play later when I'm 40.
Got that leather jacket still in the plastic.
For me to be talking to her that I used to play and I could probably still do it. 22-year-old that I'm trying to perv on. All I got left is Yordan Alvarez. Is his knee bad? Is this as bad as expected? Was this delay more knee than it was being in another country? Are you scared?
I'm scared. Just because, like, you're 23, like, you shouldn't go first to third, go from first to third on a pretty hard hit ball one night and be out of the lineup the next. But I can also see
good as advertised. There is that.
Yeah, but I could also see the Astros being extremely careful. And if they're like, "How's your knee?" He's like 80%. Like, that's not good enough. You're gonna sit.
It was kind of stiff. It was like, oh yeah. Carlos is like, did you lay down on the plane? He's like, yeah, I kind of laid down on the plane a little bit. Yeah, it'll happen. It'll get you. Yeah, it'll stiffen up on you. Yeah, you got to be careful. What are you even talking about? Don't worry about it.
So
Carlos.
It's definitely concerning, but I'm okay with the Astros, slow play. It's not – and the Astros don't have a great – track record with nagging injuries. Maybe they do. I don't know, because I don't pay that much attention to other teams. But I can really understand, like, in a short season like this, you are being overly cautious with a guy that you figure will be in the lineup for at least 4 years after this. Like, you're not gonna
big part of the lineup. Crucial. I mean, the way the dynamic of the lineup changes instantly when he's in it. And it's already a scary lineup, even with guys like Toro and Stubbs and Straw filling in. It's good, but he makes it ridiculous. The thing that scares me was that it was a scratch, and it was a scratch because of knee. So that means something's bothering him that hurts in the knee that wasn't there before, or wasn't affecting him enough to play. So that's knee discomfort. The term not great. But at least they said something. It's like Verlander, they're just like, we're just not going to say anything. We'll see if anybody asks us. If they won't ask, and we'll just don't say anything. Don't say anything. Look, sit up straight. Don't say anything. Put your arm out. Don't say anything. Yeah, just try to don't bring it up.
So it's not ideal, but I can totally see where they're coming from, being like, look, it's the freaking Mariners. Let's hold him out and let's see what it looks like tomorrow. But we also don't know like what effect does, because he came out. Tell me if I'm wrong. I did hot links for the first time in like a week and a half today, but he came out and said like, yeah, I had COVID, right?
What?
Do what?
No, I just said you were all sanctimonious about doing your hot links too. I just made a joke.
Really was. He came out and straight up said like, yeah, I had COVID, didn't he?
Yeah, he talked about. I think he did. I didn't see it. I just assumed. I always assumed that's what it was. It was he had COVID, and then there was problems getting returned to the country and stuff. I just assumed he did.
Yeah, I think he came out and said like, yeah, me and my wife had it. Our daughter didn't get it. Like, which that's awesome. That really really good there. And so what we don't know is how bad it was. Like I've got a buddy that's about my age that I work with that he was on a freaking ventilator for like 8 days and getting oxygen. He's going to be on oxygen for the next 3 or 4 months, but again, he's like my age, but we don't know like to what extent, obviously, if he's out, if he had been out for that long, you want him doing some like knee strengthening exercises, but like my buddy couldn't get out of bed. Like sitting up would put him into like a spiraling, like coughing fit that he coughed up blood. Like it was that bad. So, I mean, it could
breathe. You have no energy. Yeah. My buddy Andrew had it, and he was like, he didn't get ventilator bad, but he was as sick as a person could be for 15 days straight of just absolute death. And then it just eventually but it was just like, but really bad. Just can't breathe, can't do anything, weak. Just, I mean, and that's not even one of the scary situations. So yeah, I mean, reading some of the stuff of how it could affect the heart, how can it just stuff that it affects people so differently. That's the thing that scares me about it.
Okay, so I'm gonna talk through this, and you should know that I'm saying this as I'm thinking about it. But my wife had it, and about a year ago she ruptured her eardrum, and she had it like positive, like for sure, but she didn't have the fever, she didn't have the coughing. It settled in her ear and then it went into her jaw, and she has like a tooth that acts up every now and then, and it settled right in there to where you could see it looked like she had like a freaking like golf ball like just on the side of her jaw.
I did that recently. It sucked. That fucking that hurt. That hurts like hell.
Yeah, like I can 100% verify that she did not sleep for 3 days. Like she paced around, like she has an Apple Watch. Like one night she walked around our living room for like 19 miles. Like I saw the thing. Like she walked 19 miles. But it affected it where it got her was in the place where she had just ruptured her eardrum. So it attacked like viruses. We know this. Like viruses attack where you are at your most weak. And so like I know I'm gonna get the flu. Like if my knees, like we were at a movie this is a few years ago, but we were at a movie one night and I was like, don't touch my knee, but hold your hand like 3 inches from like my kneecap. And she was like, what the heck is wrong with you? And it was just hot. Like when my knees get hot, like I know like it's gonna be a rough few days.
Really?
And because I like to run and that's like my knees.
I can't think of a hot dog. My knees got fever. My knees got fever. I was like, what?
That's exactly what, like, my knees have a fever. So it makes sense that Jordan, if he had COVID, like he already had knee problems. We knew that already. Like that it would go to his knees. Like I feel now that I'm talking about this out loud, like I'm not as concerned as I was maybe 10 minutes ago, because like his knees he has got a trick knee. So of course that's where it's, he's going to have issues with his knees, until, these little aftershocks of, and I was talking to somebody, I was at a wedding last night that they had it, in like early April, and they talk about like getting aftershocks, like just randomly every now and then. And her ear will just randomly one day, like her ear will be killing her. And it's just, and so it's concerning, but it's just it's how viruses work.
Yeah, no, I'm exactly with you on that. because I had my own narrative made up that it was, they were disguising a much more devastating knee injury, and that his knee really was bad, and that it just was exposed, and that it was a knee thing and he was going to be done for. No, you're probably right. Yeah, he's gonna have weakness there. He's gonna be dealing with that kind of stuff, and they also said that they were planning on only playing him 2 out of every 3 games anyway on a weekend series. So like he was a scratch, but like that was a plan to sit him on Sundays on weekends, a 3-game series. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We could be all about nothing. It's just fun. It's just you get him back. It's just like, oh, come on, man. Like if we're not gonna have our super pitcher, can we at least have our lineup to where we can?
The fact is, the Astros, and we can close out with this if you want, unless you've got something else. But they're 11-10, and Springer and Altuve are hitting below what, like 190. I don't know what they did today.
Altuve's in a place he's never been in his entire career.
Yeah, and he has been a Hall of Fame hitter for way longer than the 3 weeks that this season's gone on.
Will not last.
I'm not worried.
Foregone conclusion. As the sun will set in the west. The pizza will taste better the next day. George Springer and Jose Altuve are gonna get on a hot streak and rip the cover off the ball at some point.
They're gonna hit, and they're still over 500 and in second place without them hitting.
Yeah, George Springer is a notorious dormant, can't do anything to best player that's ever played the game. So his swings are so big that World Series MVP do we even put him on the postseason roster? Can we get him the fuck out of here? George Springer, we hate you. Oh my God, George Springer, pay him whatever he wants, the World Series MVP. So that's what he does. So it just a switch goes off. He connects on one of those stupid swings and he hits it 500 feet, and then all of a sudden he's dialed in somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen Jose Altuve take the long to adjust. I've read some stupid stuff just saying that he was all upset about the fucking cheating. I was just like, I was like, anybody who said that, and even the fucking Landry Locker from 610 said that, I texted with a former player that said he heard that Altuve was really bothered by the all the cheating stuff and blaming him, and that he was really pressing. And I was like, whoever said that does not know Jose Altuve. Jose Altuve doesn't have a care in the world. It keeps it loose all the time, does not stress about that stuff. It's like, yeah, you don't even know what you're talking about. Or the player that told you that doesn't know what they're talking about. It's like, no, he's fine.
I would, as a slight counterpoint,
not staying up at night because somebody thought he may have cheated and he didn't. Like, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
I totally understand that, and I agree. But I also do sort of feel like, and we've talked about this with Bregman before. We've talked about it with Springer before, that you get into an extended slump. And for Altuve, 3 weeks, that's a slump.
Frustrating as hell, even for any player.
But there's 2 schools of thought where you swing your way through a slump, and maybe it's that one hit that Springer sends 500 feet that you just talked about. But I'm worried about the snowball effect, that every 0 for 5 game, he's trying to get out of it with one swing of the bat. And maybe that's what you're supposed to do. I don't know, because I just don't. But I'm worried about like the longer, and I do think he'll be. I don't know that he's going to hit 330 this year, just because of the short season. But he'll get back on track. But I do wonder, like, the longer it goes on, is he going to press? I don't think it has.
It's already pressing now. Yeah, if you're on, yeah. That's just being an athlete, and just struggling and trying to figure it out, because the slumps are, it's like the yips in golf. Like you're not doing anything different. You're doing nothing different. You've hit 330 your entire career. You do the same thing ritualistically at the plate. Everything preparation wise, like you're just just play until you can just get out of your head for an at bat. Like you just need to forget that you're in a slump, line a ground ball through the hole, and then it just kind of everything evens out. It's like, oh, okay, but you can't. Yeah. Like it's really hard to get out of your head when you get in a slump like that, and that's the trick. So I don't know, but yeah, right. I mean, yeah, Yeah, I think he's pressing, but I don't think because of kind of scandal or anything. It's because he's a MVP hitter, and all he knows how to do is hit the baseball where players aren't, and he's not currently doing that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, going to Dusty and asking him to be moved down in the lineup, and just man, that guy's a fucking angel, and
Yep.
I probably would murder somebody if they were wrong to Jose Altuve. He's singing his songs. Did you see the video of him singing?
Yeah.
Next to we already know. He already knows he does the Backstreet Boys. The best guy ever. The best guy ever. Doesn't cheat. Literal angel. Probably of heaven descent. He like a real angel.
Yep.
Something like he could be. Yeah, he could be a real angel. Yeah. So don't keep his name out of your mouth, you fucking stupid ass barstool reading pieces of shit. Go stick on your alt-right. Fucking go fucking jerk off to Breitbart. Don't leave Altuve out of your mouths, you fucking idiots. Yeah, that's about it. The Astros are going to be good. That's fine. Baseball's back, baby. And finally, the cardboard cutouts are fucking stupid. We don't need the ghost of the bushes behind there.